Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to launch a Google Hangout on air and also how to share that Hangout with participants in the Hangout, especially those who aren't familiar with how to jump into a Hangout in the first place. So I'm going to show you a quick workaround, the easiest way to invite people who are unsure of how to get into these. And then finally I'll show you how to find the video in your YouTube channel. So let's get started. I would start by clicking on the waffle over here, and I'll select Google+. And then over here, hover over Home, scroll down to Hangouts. I'm given two options, Hangouts on Air and Video Hangouts. Hangouts on Air is what will allow me to use to record and capture this video via YouTube. It's important to know that I'm getting these options because I'm using my personal Google account. The Google Apps for Education account won't allow you to offer a Hangout on air and record because of the ties to YouTube. So you'll need to use your personal Google account to launch a Hangout on air. So let's go ahead and launch one. I have one option, which is go ahead and create a Hangout on air. Do that. Probably need to scroll back out. So I can give this a name. I'm going to name it Demo for Nick. More description here. I choose usually start now, even if I'm going to start it in a half an hour or an hour later. It doesn't really matter. Choosing later will allow you to set up a Google Calendar event, and it will also create a link to share. So anywho, I usually use now. I'll click. I get rid of the default audience, which is public, and I replace that with an invitation to my own account. So now that field is complete. And then I'll click share. Okay, so this is a kind of an organizational page for the Hangout. If I was running a big event, I might use this. It's less important if I'm just trying to invite a few folks to a Hangout that starts right away. So then I'll click on this blue start button. Let's do that again. I usually skip this little disclaimer here. And there I am, big as I'll get out. So here are some features to notice. First of all, it's buffering down here. This won't be ready to record until it gets to 100%. And then up top, the features are invite people. I don't use this feature. I'll show you why in just a second. Mute microphone and on microphone. Camera off and on. Adjust bandwidth usage. Bandwidth usage might be important to adjust if people are getting kicked out or if they're having spotty reception. They can turn down their bandwidth usage. And then of course the phone will allow you to hang up. So now you see that the video, it's kind of prepared to start a video. Before I start the video, let me just show you my workaround for inviting people who are new to Hangouts. I copy this link up top, I highlight it and copy it, Control-C, and then I drop that link into an Outlook email. So in that way, I'm just sending them to their Outlook email. They're clicking on a link, and when they click on the link, it should send them to their Google account, and it will ask them to pretty much just provide permission for the software to access their camera, access their microphone, etc. So it never really takes more than 45 seconds to a minute for me when new people are getting in. One thing to think about though is if somebody goes ahead and gives their software permission to update or run or whatever and allows the camera and the mic and they're still having problems, they might restart their computer, and that usually does the trick. So that's the key there to inviting people. And then finally I'll click Start Broadcast to start the broadcast. Go live. Okay, now I'm recording. The important thing to know here is you get one shot to record it. even though the button down here says stop broadcast, you can't stop and start and stop and start. Basically, once you stop, this Hangout has its one recording, and you can't record again with this Hangout link. You'd have to start a whole new Hangout on air. So that's probably important to know, but you probably wouldn't run into trouble on that on your own. So anywho, you can see here the green dots show that the microphone's picking me up. It shows that it's picking me up here. What else is there to know? I guess not much. I would encourage you to maybe try out some of these features, but the most important ones are chat, which is here. That's useful to ask people to turn on their chat so you can drop in links, or maybe even give people little hints while you're having a conversation. The chat will not show up in the YouTube video. You might do screen share, but I doubt it. So you can practice with screen share. It'll allow you to decide what link or what window you want to show. Let's see if I can test this real quick. Oh, there we go. Stop. And I'm back. So that was my practice with screen share. That was a little freaky. In order to stop the broadcast, I just click stop broadcast. Now I'm done. I can say goodbye to everyone and then hang up. Call's over. Last thing. Zoom back out. Oops, come over here to my waffle. Go to YouTube. And if I click on my channel, Video Manager, you can see I've been doing several of these, trying to get it right. Haven't quite gotten it right. But this is where the video will show up, and it shows up unlisted. So obviously from there you know how to access that. So that pretty much wraps it up. Thanks for watching. Hit me up with any questions.